This is my Heathkit H89 computer. It was available in the late 1970s and early 1980s. It came in two forms, the kit form where you could assemble most of it yourself, or pre-assembled. It was also called the all-in-one, since prior to this, most computers had a required terminal and some external storage. The H89 looks very similar to the H19 terminal, where the H89 has a second Zilog Z80 processor running at about 2 megahertz or so. It is used to handle all the built-in terminal operations. The first systems initially came with 16K of RAM, but later they were spec'd out to be with 48K of RAM, which was quite a bit for back in the day. That was me booting to the drive and using the boot command. This H89 is kind of special because it's paired with the Z67 disk system, which is a 10 megabyte hard drive. It's a Winchester drive, and that was a $6,000 option back in the day. That clip there is my brother and I booting up the Z67 hard drive, just to let you get a feel for what it sounds like. You don't really find these much anymore. It was such an expensive option and pretty much nobody bought it, so they're kind of hard to come by on eBay. I've also got quite the collection of 8-inch and 5 1/4 floppies with all sorts of software that came with this Heathkit. I've also got this RS-232 to parallel box. It's used for adapting the ports on the back of the Heathkit to whatever peripheral you really want to use. Besides the drive built into the H89 and the one built into the hard drive, I've got this other external drive too. It's in functioning order. I've got some spare parts for it as well, so I'm hoping that this will be my backup drive in case anything ever, blows up. I've also got this HAL communications box that I use to adapt to the H89 to do radio teletype. I've also got a dot matrix printer in case I feel like saving my contacts I make via radio teletype. I've also got quite the pile of Remark magazine. That was the official Heathkit Users Group magazine from about 1978 to June of 1992. The Heath Users Group was later known as the Zenith Users Group. You can actually find a whole collection of these online if you want to read through, and I believe a couple of the programs I have were copied down from these magazines back in the day. This is a quick bit of my brother and I pulling up the radio teletype software. You can kind of think of it as two-way texting, except for one person at a time. And instead of a wired network, you're using, the airwaves. So in this case, I've got my ham radio license, so I can really cover the distance. And I'll use it probably in the next upcoming ARRL ham radio competition for radio teletype. This image here is some women during World War II in England. They're transmitting and receiving radio teletype messages on those printers there, which is pretty darn close to what we're going to be doing, except for we're not going to be having it print off each individual character, message, and word. Instead, we're going to have it read to the radio teletype program on our H89 computer, and then just going from there and sending and receiving. Thanks for sticking around and watching my rundown of my new to me Heathkit H89 computer.